I get through one video without hitting myself in the face with a book? Hello, welcome back to another reading vlog on Dead Good Book Reviews. This is reading vlog number 27 for those of you keeping counting. I'm trying to wear the microphone closer to my face. I don't know if it's working because this jumper is stretchy. We'll see how we go. I will figure this out one day. One day, not this day. It is first thing in the morning and I wanted to kick the week off right. Normally I wait till lunchtime to vlog because normally I don't have anything to add. Today, I do have some things to add from over the weekend. So I thought I would start off with the book mail that arrived probably about half an hour after I closed out last week's vlog. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. This I was expecting. It did come with a pin badge, which I've put on my pin badge flag. Yeah, I'm really excited to read this. We'll come on to that in a moment. I also wanted to give you an update on what I read over the weekend, and that included A Little Hatred and The Trouble with Peace by Joe Abercrombie. Trouble with Peace was a reread. This was a review copy that I needed to read for my blog tour, which is today or tomorrow, one of the two. I really enjoyed reading this series up to where it is currently. I think it's so much better having read the first law, and I don't want to completely retract what I said because I stand by reading things out of order doesn't give you a bad experience, it just gives you a different experience. In this case, I think I got both experiences. I got to read it without and I got to read it with, and with had more impactful moments. There was a lot of stuff that is known from the beginning that is then a plot reveal later, that the first time I read it I was like, oh my goodness, this is so surprising, and the second time I read it, I think Justine describes it as like watching a car crash in slow motion. That's for A Little Hatred. Trouble with Peace, obviously. Don't read that without reading A Little Hatred first. You'd be very foolish. I really liked it. Too many battle scenes towards the end. That's all I'll say. I think it got a little bit too fighty, but that's personal preference. If you really like battle scenes, this might be completely up your alley. I do have the review written, so that will be up on the blog by the time you watch this, and then I will hopefully do a review video at some point in the near future. I picked up my reread of, this was yesterday evening, Sunday evening of last week. Then yesterday evening I picked up Raw by Cora Carmack. This is a reread as well. I'm kind of in a rereads jam at the moment. That's what being close to the end of your TBR is. This is a YA storm magic romance that came out, I don't actually know when, was it 2017 or 2016? Let's find out. 2017. This was probably one of the early Fairy Loot books I got, and I've kind of hung on to it because I haven't read it since 2017. And I reread it, and originally I gave it 5 stars, which, I mean, intense. I don't think it is a 5-star now. Who is surprised? Not me. I think it's probably more of like a high 3 to 4.5, kind of, depending on what you enjoy. I had a good time rereading it. It is very, very YA. And it's sort of, I mean, it probably does tell you what age the characters are, but in terms of the way they act, it's a little bit unclear. I think if you like romance, you might enjoy this. If you like YA fantasy romance, you'll definitely like this. I really want to read the sequel, though. It left it on quite a cliffhanger, and I know the sequel kind of, I think it took 3 years to come out because of various reasons. So maybe I'll pick up the sequel. I don't know. Do I want to add more books to my shelf? The trouble is, this would have been such a good opportunity if I didn't like this to get rid of a book off my shelf. But I think I liked it. Ugh. The book Unhauled is coming. I think that might have to happen this week because my shelves are full and I cannot double stack. I refuse. Back with a list again, like a productive member of society. There's quite a few things that I've already done, and there's some stuff for a secret project that is in the works that I need to do this week that I can't talk about because it's a secret project. I need to edit my Unconquerable Sun video. I need to edit my Chorus of Dragons video and get those both up. So they are coming in the pipeline. Please subscribe if you want to see those. I still have a random box of stuff I need to sort. That's a carryover from last week. And then reading, I would like to try and read 4 books this week. Hopefully read books 7 and 8 of How to Train Your Dragon, because then I can finish that series. I think that would be good. And then I've got Hard Time is another book that's on my TBR that I probably ought to get to. So that's 3. And then, as I say, it comes out in 2 days from now. It's already out when you're reading this. To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. 825 pages. So I think I'm going to try and read a minimum of 100 pages a day, and then we'll finish it off on the weekend if we can. I think trying to read this in a day is going to be, well, probably a crime because I then wouldn't be doing my job that I'm paid for. So yeah, last week was a very good week. for reading. Hopefully I can match that this week. I also have things like Magic for Liars, The Orphanage of Gods, Once and Future, Memory Called Empire, and Christopher Paolini's Inheritance left on my TBR for this month, so there's a lot to read. Basically, at the moment, I'm not sure whether to press ahead with the TBR or just keep reading the arcs as they come in, because there are quite a few coming in at the moment. We'll find out as the week goes on, I suppose, depending on how quickly I read all the other stuff on my list. As is tradition for a Monday morning, I've been blithering under terrible lighting, so I'm going to go now. Hello and welcome to Tuesday on the vlog. I had a very productive day yesterday, and then today I logged into Twitter and it was Voldemort's publication day and everything was terrible, and I just felt terrible for most of the morning. And then I had meetings most of the afternoon, and then a lot of work stuff to do. It's now about 4:30. I have finished a bit early because I love myself, and we're in this slightly orangey lighting because it's the evening where I still have to film, so I'm hoping I can colour correct this into something sensible. I am 416 pages into To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I'm kind of on the fence about it at the moment. I'm going to put it down because I don't need an arm workout right now. I loved the first 100 pages or so. Probably even I'd go so far as to say the first 200 pages. And then 300 to 400 has been a mixed bag of kind of, this is very interesting and I enjoy this bit of kind of liminal time between exciting things. And sometimes I'm just like, was this necessary to get us this piece of information? Like, we've had to do 200 pages worth of stuff to get this piece of information. Did we need that? But I think that's just sort of part and parcel of a 800 plus page book. That's how it is. I am, however, 200 pages further ahead than I thought I would be, and I reckon I can do another 100 pages today if I fancy it, which currently I don't, because I'm also reading my reread of Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey, because I wanted to pick up a book by a non-binary author, just in a little bit of rebellion against life. I am at chapter 6 of that, page 65. I just sort of picked it up on a whim late last night, and I'd like to finish that today. That was on my TBR for September, so taking things off slowly but surely. I'm coming back to the Paolini because I can. This is my vlog. I can always edit it into a different order if I fancy it. 400 pages in is the length of another book, and not even kind of the first quarter of this book feels like it has happened. And I don't know whether that's a really good thing or a really bad thing. I think it probably depends on whether you're in the mood for this kind of book, or if you're just sort of like, no, let's get on with it, Chris. Come on now. What's interesting is there's a lot of space in this book, and I don't mean like outer space. I mean like each chapter has sub-chapters within it. There are parts. Basically, I'm wondering if you condense this book down, if you took out all of those parts which don't really serve a function beyond... They don't serve a function any more than a line space would. How much shorter would this book be? And how much of it was, I had to reach a page count? Is it because his other stuff is so big? Did this need to be big as well? It's just interesting thoughts I'm having off a Tuesday. I might love it by the time we next speak. I don't know. I'm going to get on though because I need to film something for secret project which you're going to get very bored of hearing about. So yes, tonight I'm going to try and finish Magic for Liars, maybe do a bit more Paolini. Tomorrow, if I finish Magic for Liars, will probably be How to Train Your Dragon picking up, I think. Hello, welcome back to the floor. How are we doing? It is Wednesday afternoon, evening time. It's about 5:15. I don't know why you care about the time, but I'm telling you anyway. I have had a pretty good day. I filmed a video, which I'm very pleased with. I'm going to push these books this way, so you can't see what it was about, but you won't get to see that for some time. I have also finished my reread of Magic for Liars. I thought I wasn't going to finish it today, but you know what? I powered through this last hour or so, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's really, really good. I read it very quickly the first time I read it. Bit of a theme of my rereading moments, but I thought it was really, really good. I actually really enjoyed the ending. It's a good murder mystery with a magical high school. I still think probably my favourite aspect of it is how it captures teenagers and how just horrible teenagers are in almost every way, shape and form. But it still feels, it's more of a realistic depiction. It's not just like, there are the mean girls from Mean World. It's more teenagers would obviously write graffiti calling someone a slut. That's something they would do. Where does this need to go? This needs to go here. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I am 516 I think, pages into To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. So I have effectively read enough to be one very long book at this point, and I think I can see where you could have split it. It would be a very boring first book if you split it there, but you could have split it there. I understand why they didn't. It's a perfectly good story. I think it's interesting. I wouldn't say it's blowing my socks off, but maybe it doesn't have to, and maybe it's just the fact that it's 800 pages makes me feel like it ought to be pretty darn good to justify being 800 pages plus long. I do actually really like the main character, Kira. A good main character, I guess, which I was a little bit concerned about because we all know the danger of being a male writer writing female point of view characters. It can be a little bit iffy, but it's been pretty good so far. Basically, nothing about this book is wowing me, but I am enjoying the reading experience. I don't know if I'm currently like, this is the best thing ever, go and buy it now. I think I'm going to read some How to Train Your Dragon later, probably. Or I might pick up my reread of A Memory Called Empire. Maybe. I always say that book title wrong and I can't actually see it, so if that's wrong, I apologise. Hello, I have a sharp object. Hi, it is Thursday morning, and this isn't the vlog segment for today. I just wanted to come in and unbox my Illumicrate Bonechild Daughter debut box. I'm gonna do that now. You get a pin and you get a woodmark. This pin is, oh, it's a little key, and it's by Sylvia By, or B. I'm unsure, B-I. And it's very lovely. Please focus on the key. There you go. A little bit shiny. It's very much, I really like pins. I'm a big fan of pins. A woodmark that says, I was the Emperor's daughter and I would show him that even broken daughters could wield power. And this is amazing. Again, it's not going to focus in, but there's a little in at the bottom. And dragons. Oh no, they're little Mephies. Oh, it's perfect. I love everything about it. And it's going in my bookmarks box. We have a letter from Andrew Stewart, which I'm going to read after the camera cuts. I know you know what the cover looks like. I know what the cover looks like. This isn't, I don't believe it's an exclusive edition or anything. Plain black hardback. It does have a signed book plate, which I will actually put in my book. I always forget to do that and then I end up using them as bookmarks. I own it. Happy days. Hi! Hello, proper actual me now, not wearing a microphone clipped to me, so hopefully slightly better audio. Please ignore these piles of books behind me, pretend you can't see them. I ran out of shelf space, and I had an unhaul planned for November, but I kind of had to bring it up, but I still want to publish that video in November. I don't really know what's happening. We'll have a think about that later. Maybe I will film it sooner than then. But I wanted to give you a reading update. I did read book 7 and 8 of the How to Train Your Dragon series, How to Ride a Dragon's Storm, and How to Break a Dragon's Heart, both of which were very good. I guess I'm just not totally sold on the series. And I think that's partly my I don't really read much middle grade brain, and partly I think they're getting a little bit dated. So I'm pretty sure that book 8 came out in 2009? That's 11 years. Yeah, that's a long while. I was still in school in 2009. Anyway, that's where I'm at with those. I think I will try and do a final thoughts in whichever video. It'll probably be my wrap-up. So stay tuned for that. I'm at page 605-ish. The start of Exeunt 4. I'm this far. This first bookmark. I'm this far through To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. And the actual plot I'm enjoying. There's a lot of filler, and it's weird things that, if they turn out to be plot relevant in the last 200 plus pages of this book, then fine. But otherwise, why are they in here? Why haven't they been edited out? For example, the main character, Kira, keeps waking up from her going to sleep during the ship travelling in faster than light travel. So she has to go into effectively hibernation for that. And she wakes up, and every single time she wakes up, it's, oh, the contact lenses that give me access to, this virtual world, kind of like a heads-up display, but in your eyes, they've been dissolved again. Every time she wakes up, she brings it up. If it's not plot relevant, why am I having to hear about it every time? And I don't know whether that's, oh, what a great amount of detail has been included in this world. Like, he's considered every time she wakes up, she has to find new contact lenses. That's really clever. I don't want to leave out, it would be a plot hole to not mention that one time it dissolved her contact lenses and another time it didn't. We have to talk about where she gets the new contact lenses from. is that good detail leaving out plot holes, or is that creating an 800-page book for the sake of an 800-page book? I don't know. And I think, I can't remember who it was said it. I genuinely can't remember now. It was somebody I was watching on BookTube, and I think they were quoting someone else, but saying it's a light sci-fi book masquerading as a hard sci-fi, and I don't know if by putting in those details it's trying to feel more hard sci-fi. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to do another 100 pages of that this afternoon, which would put me in a good position to finish it tomorrow before the weekend, which would be really good. Basically, I really want to have it done by the end of this vlog, so I can say this was my reading vlog where I read The Sleep in a Sea of Stars. I think that's everything I had to say. I had fabric delivered. I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with it. I should show it to you. I think it's probably going to read more plain yellow on camera, but it's actually like, what's it called? Yellow, like seersucker, which is a horrible term that I will have to look up where that comes from. But yeah, 6 meters of that with no project. It was just not very expensive and is 100% cotton. I am going to go now because it's starting to get chaotic. I'm always a bit chaotic when I'm wearing this jumper. Maybe it's because I'm wearing a jumper when it's still kind of summer. It is the end of Friday. It's Friday evening. I'm tired. That's really what it is. I'm very tired. I'm very glad this week is done. But I wanted to come in and update you with some reading before tomorrow morning. Where do I start? Let's start with just a mini update. I'm 150 pages into A Memory Called Empire. I'm loving it. I don't know what happened the first time I read this. I'm not sure what I didn't understand. Why was I reading it so fast? Past me, what are you doing? But I think this really shows that sometimes you need to reread things, and sometimes you need to get used to reading an aged up genre. Maybe I wasn't ready yet. I can't remember when I first read this, but I'm really loving it now. It is over 400 pages, so it counts for Conqueror Chonka, which I'm very excited for. Speaking of big books that I have finished, I finished it. There are no more bookmarks left in this. I finished To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. I'm gonna just pause for a moment and revel in the fact that I managed to finish it. I have mixed feelings about this. I've already written the script for my video review, which I will film probably tomorrow while it's still fresh in my head. So I have a bunch of feelings that I will talk about in that video. So if you are excited for that, if you're here because you've managed to be pushed here by Google or wherever, then that is coming very soon. Subscribe and you will see it. I think overall I gave this 3 stars, and I think that's because probably half of it I really enjoyed, and half of it I feel could have probably either not been there or would be someone else's cup of tea, however you want to word it. I was talking to Justine about this, and I was talking about that intense amount of detail. I can't remember if this will have come up in the vlog yet, but it feels like a book written by a man who's very worried about people coming to correct him, and so he's included all of the information so that you can't be like, but you said that her contact lenses dissolved at one point, they didn't at another. He'd be like, oh no, I mentioned it every single time. It also is very much a superhero book rather than, well, not rather than a sci-fi book, alongside being a sci-fi book. Like, it has very much superhero arc within it. And maybe that's, again, a selling point, maybe that's a no. Overall, I'm really glad that I read it, and I think I probably would reread it or read more books. I think this is a standalone, but I would read another book of a similar kind of setting by Christopher Paolini. I don't think this is going to make my top books of the year or list or anything. If that's how we're rating things, yeah, 3 out of 5 stars, which is 6 out of 10, which is not too bad, really, when you think about it. I've been editing up a storm for things, I've been filming up a storm. I'm really loving the process, which was my aim. I really wanted to get to a point where I could love the process and not the result, and I think I'm there at the moment. That probably means I'll take another dip in and be obsessed about stats again at some point soon, but for the moment, I'm enjoying the content I'm making. Oh hi, it's Saturday, it is 11:48. I happen to have my phone on me. I just finished A Memory Called Empire, and I didn't want to come on and not have finished it. I actually really enjoyed this the second time around. I think, I'm trying to remember when I read this. I can't actually remember. I will have to look it up when I read this last. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so good. I can totally now see why people loved this, and I like it too, and I'm excited to keep it on my shelf. I think some of my favourite aspects of this are the whole fish out of water thing of it. I think it's done super well, and I think the fact that it's dedicated to anyone who's ever fallen in love with a culture that was devouring their own is like stupid cool and really interesting, and the ending is such that I am now very interested in reading the next one, which I think is out either soon or already. It's been a pretty good week. I'm pretty sure I've got everything done except for sorting the box of random stuff, which was a hangover from last week. I got my first negative comment this morning,
well, I've had them before, but they were like actually just terrible people. In this case, it was someone being like, you wave your arms too much in your videos, so if you're watching this, Grace, this is for you. Have I got anything else I need to update you on? Let's say no. I'm excited for tomorrow's video for you. It is Animorphs 10. Be very, very excited. It's a good one. I hope you've enjoyed this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed hearing my initial thoughts on To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. There will be a full video review at some point very soon. I'm going to film it, maybe this weekend, maybe not. We have Friends with a Dog coming tomorrow, so that's very exciting. Comment below with how your week's been, what have you been reading, let me know. You can also, while you're down there, follow me on all of my social media, that's linked below. You can subscribe if you haven't already, that makes me feel loved and appreciated. That's all from me, and I will see you in the next one. It's gonna be some bloopers now. I picked up Raw by Cora Carmack.